Hey guys, I figured I'd do a little bit of a follow-up to the Lovenox video that I did as far as the injection site. Um, it's been about a year and a half. I continued on Lovenox for about 3 months. I had to do 2 shots a day for those whole 3 months, which was much longer than I had anticipated. But thankfully, um, I didn't have to take it for the rest of my life, which I know some people do. So I'm very, very grateful for that situation. Um, what I didn't mention in that video was the first time I took that shot, I literally sat in my room for about 30 minutes staring at the needle and trying to figure out how the heck I'm going to stab myself with this sharp thing. Finally, when it happened, I felt foolish, of course, because it didn't really hurt at all. So I totally get those first time jitters. Um, but trust me, it's way worse in your head than it's going to be in your stomach, literally. So just go for it. Um, the toughest part of my journey was finding a doctor that played it conservatively because I wanted to. I typically am not the first to go to drugs and get something prescribed. I like to be a little more liberal about that. But in this instance, I want to play it safe. I wasn't screwing around. A couple of doctors told me to just take a couple of aspirins and chill out. It'll come and go. I wasn't having that. I really wanted a sure thing, and that sure thing was Lovenox. So I found the right doctor who walked me through the whole thing, made me feel really good about it, made me feel like I understood a lot about it, which was super important to me, and I'm sure to you. Not knowing, I think, just creates more fear. And if you have a DVT or any kind of blood clot, you don't need more fear. I was scared out of my mind when I found out about it. And if you are too, and you just need an ear, then please feel free to reach out and air all that out because I totally get it. I still remember it like it was yesterday, how scared I was. Nonetheless, a little bit about how it happened to me or how they think it happened to me. I had traveled overseas, so I was in an airplane for a long time. I came back from that trip probably a couple weeks after that. I got my period. When I got my period, I didn't stop bleeding. So doctors put me on birth control, which I never take. About a week after I started that, maybe 2 weeks, I got a DVT. So that was my timeline. And that's kind of how it went down for me, for better or worse. Um, of course, being overweight makes you more susceptible, as I am. Being a smoker also makes you more susceptible to getting blood clot. I am not a smoker. So now when I travel, I actually wear compression socks when I travel for a long time. So I look like an old lady with compression socks. Totally fine with that. I massage my legs. I try to do this with my toes in my shoes on the plane or in my socks. Try to get up, walk around if you can. So if you're a traveler as well, feel free to, tell me what your tips and tricks are when it comes to this. I'm sure it would be super helpful for other people as well. Um, so that's a little bit of my catch up. One last thing that I'll say is I did end up changing or rotating the injection site on my body. I started with my stomach, like I showed you in the video. Then, I want to switch it up because it was just like so much injection just in the stomach. I tried my arms, super painful, some bruising. Then I tried my thighs, mostly the outer thighs. And even though there's a lot of fat there and you think it shouldn't hurt, um, it did. It hurt. But what hurt most was the bruising afterwards. I literally got bruises about this big from a needle, as tiny as that is. So I don't recommend the thighs at all. I say stick to the stomach, totally 100%. If I were to do it again, which knock on wood, hopefully I don't have to ever again, I would stick to the stomach the whole time. So, nonetheless, I really hope this is helpful to at least a couple of people. And, comment, reply, email, whatever you want to do. Um, you know, I just wish everyone the most successful journey in this. So, be well. Take care of yourselves.